understand I am not your enemy, nor will I pretend to be. I got these powers like Austin.
Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. This is the RIP 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you may like, some of those things you may not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. I am your super cool, super fan favorite, super sexy, super smart, just all around good looking host, Slider Sports Guy, joined by the one and only, your favorite teacher's favorite teacher. What's going on, LeBron Luther King Sr.?
Let's go. It's LeBron Luther King, aka Beezy the GOAT, here to get it started again with my boy Sly Diggity and Chetta Bob.
You know what? It is in celebration of Founders Day. They call it J15. In celebration of J15, we decided to bring on one of our favorite Alpha Kappa Alpha members incorporate. No, it's Alpha Kappa Alpha incorporate. There you go, something like that. I don't
know. No, that's not it. But go ahead.
Okay, whatever. You know, I was popular. I didn't have to buy any friends, so I'm not really understanding all the Greek life. But anyway, the one and only Chetta. What's going on?
Y'all, what's up?
Glad
Thanks
to have
for having me on.
Glad to have you. You know, we were recently voted by Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. We were voted the podcast of all AKAs. 9 out of 10 AKAs prefer the RIP 28 podcast. We were voted that. You know, it ain't easy.
Don't get me in trouble with some you careful with those proclamations. I did not agree to that statement, by the way. So that's just not this.
They did.
You were the one.
Yeah, you were the one. You were the one. But
we're sorry that your taste have, it has diminished a little bit. But
we can't blame you for being not cool. But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to get the AKAs what they want.
Yeah, we giving the AKAs
giving them what they want.
That's what we do as a podcast.
They ask for it, we give it to them.
We get a people what they want. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Ain't that Jalen and Jacoby?
That's what we do. I don't know. I got somebody trying to talk in my ear while I'm doing a podcast. Could have just texted me and I would have been. Huh? Yes, we doing the podcast, please. See, this is the thing when you do live television, man. You got people who coming in and want to jump in on you, man. And oh God, but I'm good. I'm back, man. I apologize. I apologize to all our fans out there, man. I apologize, but anyway, I'm here. What are we talking about? And speaking of all our fans, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening. All that type of stuff, man. We can be found everywhere. Bron, where can they find us? Where can they find us at, Bron?
They can find us at Anchor. They can find us at Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Podbean, Podbay. Anywhere you get a podcast, you can find the RIP 28 podcast. So there's no reason to be like Chetta and not send that vote our way.
I'm telling you, it ain't no reason.
You got all platforms, Chetta. Even while you working, you can listen to us if you don't want to see our gorgeous faces.
There it is, man.
What you think about that, Chetta?
Hey, you like you said, you got what the people want.
We get the people what they want. Shout out to Happy Key. Happy Key says, "Hey Sly, we appreciate you." We got, I know what it is. Since we got an AKA on, the Deltas protesting. Cobb said she was watching, and this is in the comments. This ain't me. She said, "I'm watching and protest because Deltas are because DST is number one." Oh wow, okay, wow, Cobb, that's how you really feel. Okay, we got you. I ain't know it was sorority beef. I ain't know it was what the Divine Nine beef going on out here, but
I'm not following you up.
I ain't right. She wrote it. You know,
I'll follow you up.
don't get mad at me. That what Cobb said.
Okay.
That what Cobb said. And you know, S.commas don't play, man. S.commas is on it, man. You know, that Black Greek life is something. You
First
know,
of all, it's all love. So shout out to all of my Greek brothers and sisters, my Pan-Hellenic Council members, for all that are. Today is actually Zeta's Founders Day, so shout out to the Zetas.
okay.
Yesterday was Founders Day for the first and the finest, but Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And then we also had the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta on the 13th. So it's all love. Also at Kappas. So it's all love.
You know, nobody, I noticed you didn't say Sigma Gamma Rho. Nobody really, it's only about 5 of them, man.
Yeah.
That's not what I said.
I know I said you didn't even mention them.
I didn't mention other fraternities either, because I'm talking about the ones celebrating most recently. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorority.
But also shout out to all
their sorority, not a fraternity.
my National Panhandle members.
Their sorority. I will not take any Sigma Gamma Rho disrespect on this podcast.
Shout out to the Sigmas. I know my boy Aaron Lucas and my boy Brandon Graham. Big Jeezy, what's happening?
Oh, you know the president of Sigma, Chance of Sigma.
Yeah, and shout out to Nezzy Bone.
And you know it's funny though. I told Chance, I say, man, you like the most non-active Sigma, because his wife is super Zeta now. His wife 100% Zeta all the way. She
his
Zeta,
daughter.
Zeta, and the daughter. But I'm like, Chance, man, you don't. I don't never see you doing no Sigma stuff. And Chance said, well, why would you? Why would I do it around you?
That's just how it sounds. Why
would I do it around you? You're not a Sigma. So,
shout out to Miss Kima Bel-Air watching. Hey, Miss Kima.
Hey, Kima, how you doing? Who out there? Lavelle Walker. I see you out there. Matter of fact, I'm glad she's watching, because she has a son who plays football at South Carolina State. And one of the big things going on right now in college football, especially Black college football, is our boy Ed Reed. Ed Reed was just promoted. Ed Reed was just got the job as head coach at Bethune Cookman. Bethune Cookman, HBCU, longtime member of the MEAC. Now they're in the SWAC, and he got the head coach job. And Ed went off. Ed was slightly perturbed, to say the least, about the conditions at Bethune Cookman, and he went on a profanity laced tirade about poor Bethune Cookman. So how do y'all feel about Ed? Do you think Ed's gonna last long at Bethune if he going off the way he going off like this?
Man, I could see a Dion type situation, because he's already rep. Prime was right about you HBCUs needing help. And he wasn't happy. So I think when you go off like that, before he said he wasn't even under contract, boy, that's a bad sign.
But then, you know, he came back with his hat in his hand, you know, gave the canned apology that everybody gives. But my thing is, I mean, did he have a right to be mad? You know what?
You have the right to be mad, but there's a way to express that. You don't have to be mad on social media. That's not the means to express your frustration when you're in that type of position. I expected better from him. And he should have been able to use his words in a different way. I mean, not on social media. No one's saying you can't be upset. You can't be disgusted. You can't be angry at whatever it is that you're seeing. But your role is to do what? What do you want your role? What do you want your role to be? So do you have to tell everybody about everything?
I don't know. I mean, I guess his role of coach. I don't know what his end game is. Is he trying? Is his goal to make? I guess his goal is to make Bethune a winner. I mean, is his goal to win at Bethune and leave? Is his goal to improve HBCUs? What's his goal? But I do kind of agree with what you said. It's a way that you go about doing
Yes,
things.
sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
you can't come out your first week on the job and just totally
Bash the
dog.
place.
Yeah, you can't dog the place your first. You know you was coming into a situation that wasn't Miami. You know what I'm saying? You know you wasn't coming into the Miami Hurricanes. So you
That's the
should.
part that get me. You know what you coming into. You ain't coming into no lap of luxury. You're not gonna have the best facilities. You're not gonna have everything you want. So I'm like, Chetta, use your words. Go to the president's office or whomever, but don't get on social media and do that. It's a bad look for the school and it's a bad look for a great Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, man. Everything's about optics, man. It's about
Yeah.
optics, and truth be told, a lot of the stuff he said it wasn't a lie. Now, one thing I didn't like, he was like, man, I've been here less than a week, and and he said I've been here less than a week, and I done did more than almost everybody who was already here. And I'm like, oh, hold on, brother. You got some people, you got people who have been working now. You got people who
Yeah.
have been working.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how much you have done, but I don't know if you did more than everybody
Now, come on,
already.
right? He ain't been there long enough to start making those proclamations now. Come on. Even if you have, it's a certain way you can do it.
Right.
And he chose a very public forum to go off like that. So what do you think these recruits that he's gonna go sit down in their houses? What are you thinking as a parent if
Yeah.
he came to recruit your child? You
And
know, and we all in tough. See, I'm a coach, and I've been having a tough last 2-3 years. And I'm not gonna go and blast my players and blast the organization or the program. Whatever I'm gonna do it behind closed doors, and I'm just gonna keep working. It's just a certain way you do it. And I love Ed Reed, being a former free safety myself. I think he's the best safety to play, but that was just bad. It's just a bad look, and it makes HBCUs look bad as a whole.
my
Well,
thing,
I don't necessarily think it makes HBC. I understand where people feel like, oh, it makes HBCUs look bad as a whole, but every HBCU is different. Every HBCU's money is different, and the way they're set up is different. And I think the other thing that he's done, or that he needs to consider, is opportunities that he would receive through private funding, not necessarily through alumni, but there are other ways for you to obtain the funds that you're looking for. And him being able to use his clout and his reputation and put that on the line and bring investors, bring other NFL players to the table who wants to invest in this program, who wants to create this scholarship, who wants to create this endowment, who wants to, partner with me and have this locker room or this stadium. And if you're acting like that in the first week, and I'm on the business side, I'm on the banking side, or a corporation, and I got money to burn, because they always have money to burn somewhere. There's some philanthropic dollars in these major corporations, and you missed out on that, and you messed that up too. That's another missed opportunity for him to talk with the president. Like, he has to also fundraise, I'm sure, for that college. And who is coming to that college and saying, yeah, I want to talk to him because he's now told me all these deplorable conditions? What's going to happen with my money and my investment? What's going to be my return? What are you guaranteeing me? Or am I looking forward to another social media nightmare?
And that's why I said it makes it look bad on not every HBCU, but as Black people, we're not as versed in HBCUs as we could be or should be, or however you want to look at it. So from the outside looking in, if I'm someone that doesn't know about HBCUs, and I've had two celebrities, Deion Sanders and Ed Reed, who are all Hall of Fame, both are Hall of Famers, great players, greatest players ever. And they're saying these things. How would that make me want to go there, is what I was saying. That would make me, I wouldn't say it make it look bad. Maybe that was the wrong phrase. It would make me take a long look at being there. If it's not good enough for your sons, why would it be good enough for my son? or my daughter. So that's what I guess that's the message I was trying to
Yeah,
convey.
you're absolutely right. Because most of the time when people think of HBCUs or where they're going to give HBCUs to, I am a graduate of North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, Aggie
Let's
Pride.
go. Let's
And
go.
here's the thing, we are one of the, if not the best institution in the world, because we are. Most people, when they think about HBCUs, they think about giving their money to Howard, they think about giving their money to Spelman and Morehouse, and that's it. No one wants to give money anywhere else. And I've had this argument even with people in my own organization to say to them, there are other HBCUs outside of Howard, Spelman, and Morehouse. And Spelman and Morehouse, like, let's be clear, like their money's different. And so is Howard. And even though Howard has had their issues, Morehouse, like all these schools have issues. Like, don't get it twisted. A&T, there's still some things that you're like, oh, y'all still have that, huh? Because that was there when I was there. So, it's
long time ago.
Yeah. Not that long ago.
Slide,
But-
long time ago.
But I'm just saying, like, it's not all equal. Is almost is basically what I'm trying to say. It's
Now,
not all equal either.
I got a question for you, for both of you. I didn't go to an HBCU. Sometimes I wish I had, but I want to ask a question. You said those 3 universities and colleges get a lot of funding. Do you think it's because they see return on those dollars, like you were saying, or is it because some of the funds have been misappropriated at some of these other HBCUs?
I honestly think it's the celebrity aspect of it.
Yeah.
Less than, it's not misappropriation of funds, I don't think at all. I mean, yeah, you would have that in some schools, but I mean, I think that's any school. To be honest, any school can have misappropriation of funds. But I definitely think it's the celebrity aspect. So when you have, these big celebrities, actors, actresses that have gone to these colleges and they shout it out proudly, like, what are you supposed to do? I can't compete with, the vice president going to Howard. How am I supposed to compete with that?
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head when you talk about the celebrity aspect, compared to the other schools. If you look at that alumni list and you look at a place like you use Morehouse, for example, Morehouse, Martin Luther King went to Morehouse, Dr. Martin Luther King went to Morehouse, and Bill Cosby he didn't go to Morehouse, but all that money, Morehouse was supposed to be, for the longest, it was the place if you were a Black man, that was the creme de la creme, where you could go and get your education. If you were a Black man, where you could go and get your education. So,
and a wife.
Yeah, and a wife. Go and pick up a wife across the street.
From across the street. Yeah, that's a
know?
good selling point, though. I hate to say it, but that's a good selling point.
And so when you have that type of image that's been out there for years and years and years versus, let's say a Miles College, Miles College, nothing wrong with Miles. Miles a good college, or Johnson C. Smith, nothing wrong with those colleges, but they don't have that celebrity aspect. They don't have that, that shine on them that a Morehouse and then Howard being right there in DC, the original chocolate city, you know what I'm saying? Your capital, and it's a gateway for so many Black people coming from up north. They'll come down to DC. That's about as far south as they'll, be willing to venture, and so boom, it's just that celebrity aspect, and that allows them to get the money. And quite frankly, they got a better PR machine than a lot of other colleges. They got a better PR machine. So that's how they would get. That's why all the money goes to them. If you're just a regular dude who got some money and say, hey, it hit you, I want to donate to HBCU. Well, what's the first one you know? The first one you know is Morehouse. The first one is our Howard, maybe Hampton. I don't know how A&T jumped out there.
First of all,
nobody famous with A&T.
First of all, Ron McNair, Jesse Jackson, don't play with me.
You better tell him. You better get him straight, Chetta. Get him
know.
straight cheddar. And we had the famous cheddar.
That's and
Cheddar
I
green, baby.
thank you, LeBron. I was
Cheddar
just gonna say
green.
that.
What you
And
talking about,
me.
Sly?
You
Get your
know,
fat straight. Fact
you,
check him.
you know what? I will tell the truth. Cherie took me to Cookout for the first time when I went to A&T one weekend.
Oh yeah.
And hung out with Cherie. Cherie took me to a cookout. I never even heard of a damn cookout.
No, the first cookout I went to take some players down to South Carolina State. And they was like, man, let's go to the cookout. I was like, who cooking out? They was like, no, the cookout. I was like, yeah, but who cooking? They was like, it's a new place down there. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. Don't let me show my age, Cheddar.
Yeah,
No,
man.
not until recent years the cookout expand. That was all
Yeah.
North Carolina. That I mean,
Yeah.
it was just crazy. I mean, that
You
was
see them
another
everywhere
draw.
now.
Everywhere.
Yeah, man. But that's cool. It's funny because I had me some cookout to date. I had some cookout. So
When you could have ate Buc-ee's.
I could have ate Buc-ee's, but I missed
Could
out.
have had that good brisket, and you ate some darn cookout.
Well, shit happens. Shit
Do
happens.
you think Buc-ee's brisket is good?
The one I only had it one time, and it sure no was good to me, Chuck.
It was good to you? Okay.
Yeah, I had the one in Birmingham, but it was good to me.
Okay. It's probably, you know what? It probably depends on which one you go to because I mean, I got a fried pie and that was delicious. A fried apple pie from Buc-ee's. That I love that. I would go back for that in a minute.
But you didn't like the brisket?
My mom wasn't a fan of the brisket. She was like,
Oh, okay.
I don't like it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it though. I was just fascinated, at the amount of inventory they have.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, man, they had the gas station. Buc-ee's making money all over at one time. I ain't mad at you, Buc-ee.
You get everything you need. Get Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, everything you need from Buc-ee.
I sure enough did pick up a couple of Christmas gifts out there and wrap them things up. And they were happy too.
All right. Well, check this, man. Check this. We got a guest. We got a guest about to join us working on CPT. Hopefully he can get on and we can talk about it, man. What do we have, man? We got man. We gotta get this. We gotta get this in. Well, no. Oh, we talked about it, man. Your name, LeBron Luther King, man. Today is Martin Luther King Day, man. Martin Luther
King Sr.
How did we not talk about? It's messed up because last year
we did kind of lead up to it when we was talking about he went to Morehouse and we just kind of got off track, but our transition was a little off.
That would have been a good segue, man. We missed that. I know. We missed it.
You had it. I thought you was going with it.
I thought my bad. Broadcasting classes. I got to go back, man. Man. But yeah, man, today is Martin Luther King Day. A lot of people take it as just a fucking day off instead of recognizing what the man did for us and everything he did, or making it just a day of service. I think that's the recent thing. People want to make Martin Luther King Day a day of service. I'm be honest, I'm kind of against that. I don't think it should be a day of service. Martin Luther King Day should be. I think Martin Luther King Day maybe should be a day where you just go and tell a white person to do something for you. And white people should do something for you on Martin Luther King Day. I think that's what should happen.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I just knew this boy was gonna come up over here talking about the purge and how we get to kill.
Well, no. What it do, T Breezy? No, not the purge, Cheddar.
Shout out. What up, Susie? Susie just popped on.
I slightly disagree with you. I will say I like it as a day of service because that's what he stood for. And that was his whole thing, being of service to others. He may not see the progress that was made, but he wanted to leave that legacy, and all that for us. So I think I'm not saying your whole day has to be, but why not do something to be of service? And
I totally disagree with you. Martin Luther King wasn't about service. He wasn't about you going and helping out. He wanted equal rights for our people. He ain't want
And
our
who
people.
was he helping? He was helping us.
He was
What are
helping
you
us.
talking about? He was servant of himself to help Black people.
But what that got to do with us going out and
Because we
cleaning
keep
up
it
the street?
going.
No, he wasn't about having service. He was about making sure
He was
our
a
people.
pastor.
Yeah.
Somebody wasn't about the street.
Well, if he was a pastor, he was about collecting money doing service. That's doing the service.
Well, he might have been getting a couple wood nickels back then. But no, what do you mean? He was a pastor. Everything he did was about serving others. He never came out and said, let it be about Martin Luther King.
No, it was about the people. It was about advancing us as a people. But how?
Service.
But I think
you're asking, how did this become? How do we go from advancing, the purpose being equal rights, equality to serving?
Yeah.
And I think part of that has to do with the fact that his wife, my soror,
that's right,
the late Coretta Scott King, she is the reason that his legacy continued. She is the reason that after he passed away, and she fought really hard to make sure that there was a day recognizing him in all that he sacrificed. They slaughtered him. So
got set up.
Yeah. So, she made sure, like, you will remember him, you will recognize what he did.
Okay.
And she made sure that, there was a day, she made sure there was a King Center, all of that.
I get
but listen
all
at
of
this
that.
slide. Let me say this. He may not, the day may not need to be of service, but I think it's totally wrong to say Martin Luther King wasn't about service.
I don't think he was about going out and doing like right now. What's going on today? Today, people, okay, a day of service. I'm gonna go and clean up the neighborhood.
No, I'm not saying no.
I think but that's what people are taking today as a day of service. This is what I'm going to do as a day of service. Now, one thing I do like what the Alaskan Bar Association lawyers from Alaska, they are waiving all legal fees today. All the lawyers in Alaska are waiving. Now I wonder how long does that last? Are they just waiving the legal fees for today, and then tomorrow?
Hey, how many Black people in Alaska?
Hey, minute.
I know one. My homeboy Cotto live in Alaska. That's the only person I know that live in Alaska.
Many.
Chiquita was the only Black person I knew who was in Alaska, and she's back in South Carolina now.
Smart.
Ain't many Black folk in Alaska. But the thing is, though, I mean, if you're gonna be of a service, be of that type of service where you helping out legally, you helping out something to advance civil rights.
That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about going to clean up no neighborhood now, picking up no trash. I'm talking about servicing others, helping someone that might be incarcerated, wrongfully incarcerated, or something like that. I'm not talking about going out cleaning up a neighborhood. No.
Yeah.
I'm talking about being of service yourself, not cleaning up.
It's just an evolution of, I think people wondering how, or maybe even wondering to her, maybe once upon a time of saying, well, how do we honor your husband? And she probably said, well, you need to serve others. You need to, do something in your community, do something to make an impact, to affect change. And somehow that evolves with different organizations. Some may do a neighborhood cleanup. Others are like, oh, let's work in the community garden. Like, I've done all those types of projects, and it's like, I don't necessarily think this is like a King Day related thing, but I've also participated in the march, which I feel like is more, in alignment. But I think that, what are you marching for? What's the purpose? Are we marching in recognition and remembrance of him and what he fought for us? Is that what we're doing? So
I don't believe in marches, man. All marches do is ruin a good pair of shoes, man.
People got to be more specific. You know what I'm saying? If you say, I want you to do some type of service, say what type of service you want people to do. If you just leave it up for grabs, most people gonna do the easiest thing possible.
Go pick up trash.
Anybody do that. Anybody can go walk down the street for 2 miles and turn back around. You know what I mean? But get something specific that you can say, hey, let's make a real difference out here. Let's do
something that's beneficial.
A, B, and C. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be beneficial. I'm not just talking about going to do something and say, I did this on Dr. King Day. I'm talking about really being of service, something that's not beneficial for yourself, but for someone else.
Yeah.
And they'll be out there taking all the pictures. Yeah, I was out here serving.
Yeah, trying to get all the credit.
Yeah. Well, some organizations, there are even some organizations that do almost like a dinner or a breakfast, and they will have you sit at a table and they may give you different topics to discuss. And it should be, I think the intention is to get you to have conversations with people that you wouldn't normally talk to, but to really talk and think about, like, how can you make a difference? Like, if I see that there is an inequity here, or I see that there is, you know, all of this, maybe there's crime in a certain area of town, or there are food deserts. Like, why is that? That's economical. We know that. That's just, you know, institutionalized racism, all that, you know, economic crap, you know, that they do to make sure that people in communities don't have access to fresh food, but you can have this corner store food and kill yourself, right? And don't have parks and don't have, you know, functioning equipment for the kids. So what else do they have to do? But
So what kind of food?
Food deserts.
I never heard of that. So can you kind of go into that?
Oh, what a food desert is?
Broad
Food
River
desert
Road.
basically. Robert Road now is a food desert. You're right. It is a food desert now. You can't get a grocery store. So if you can't get a grocery store within a mile or two, or at least within walking distance, that could be considered a food desert.
See, like if you think
Broad
about
River, just a desert.
It is.
It ain't even just a food desert. It's just a desert. But anyway.
yeah, because you think about how Broad River Road is set up now, man. You know, I don't know when the last time you've been to Columbia, Chance, but you know, it's no grocery store. All the grocery stores on Broad River Road, they are gone. They are gone. It's I think they got one down there, Food Lion, down there by Greystone. That's the only one. And then
everything else is going back up. Everything else is going back up Irma way on Broad River.
Yeah, I saw Milo was gone.
Yeah, you got to go all the way to Harbison. Grocery store.
For Publix, or what's that over there?
And that sounds like we need to put our RIP 28 fund.
Well, that's not a good pose for Chance.
Is he stuck? Chance stuck. Well, check this, man. Check this. We, you know, Brian, we got to work on our changes, man. We got to work on our transitions and segues, man, because the people are asking, man. They keep asking about this doggone listener letter. We got a listener letter we need to answer for the people.
Man, let's get it.
We're going to jump straight into this thing. We're going to jump straight into it, man. Here we go. I am a loyal RIP 28er. I listen to the show every week on my way to work. I love you guys. I have a concern, and I hope that you can help me. I've been dating my boo for over a year now. We have our ups and downs, but our relationship is great. He loves me, and I love him. But I have an issue with him. He doesn't shave down below. He has coarse hair, and when it rubs against my shaved private area, sometimes it irritates me. She must be a white chick. But anyway, I asked him to shave, but he says black men don't do that. I knew she was white. He is my first brother that I have dealt with. But in the porns I have seen and the black stripper I saw, they were all shaved. And sometimes his hair can carry a musk. He isn't a dirty guy. He showers all the time. But sometimes his balls have a slight musk to them. My question is what he says true? And how can I get him to shave? How can we help this lady out? How can we help her out, man?
Hey, that's funny. That's funny. He said she was white.
Hey, first off, Don't be talking about all black men don't shave because I'm freshly shaved. Just
Oh,
shaved yesterday.
okay,
Let's put
okay.
that out there.
Yeah, that ain't everybody. But
So
that's
it ain't
funny.
no
That's funny you say she must be white, but she might be mixed because the white girl don't care.
Yeah, white girl don't care. Hey, they don't. But what I've heard, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not.
all right, Dr. Umar.
Hey, just like the dudes don't like all their hair down there. They don't like it either. So
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy hair down there. I like to go digging in the muff. I
oh,
like spread it out.
Hey boy, this is a cave. That boy is a caveman.
I'm a cave.
Captain Caveman.
I like to go down there.
Sheree is
Wait a
speechless
minute. Hey,
with her mouth wide open.
Hey, let's get back
You
to this
can't say that
listener
in this
letter.
context of this letter, but
I like to fight my way through it.
that's the problem with porn. You have unrealistic expectations of what people look like and what people's parts are supposed to look like.
That's why I make my own porns. I make my own porn,
Hey, Sly, I was just about to eat, but never mind. I don't want nothing.
You ain't hungry no more.
I ain't hungry no more, dog.
Oh man.
After this podcast, I'm about to eat. That's a whole nother story.
Hey, I know Misha watching. Misha, go ahead and get the kids out again this week. Slop finna get ignorant. He finna get ignorant, Misha. So get the kids out the room.
Hey, but I think oh wow, Natalie Seaborn just said, well, it actually seems she did say something and he just doesn't care how it affects her. Is
What
he selfish?
What did she say?
Remember, she asked him about it. Hold on, let's bring
Oh
the
yeah,
list.
he said black men don't shave.
Yeah, he said black.
So where he get that from? That's the question. Like just because his daddy and his uncle don't do it, that mean all black men don't do that? I mean, that ain't you. People do this stuff all the time. They put everybody in the box like black people only do this, white people only do that. That is not true, man. Everybody got their own thing. He just because he don't do it don't mean that black people don't do it. That's crazy. On Martin Luther King Day, he talking about all black people.
He probably
wonder
shaved and got them bumps down there, man.
I wonder if Coretta told Martin to shave, but that's a whole nother story.
First, okay.
Back then,
Martin
brother,
Luther King.
they
Dr.
ain't had no
Martin
electric shavers back then. They had to do that jump with a straight blade.
Tearing the skin off that thing.
But I wonder if she could just ask him to trim it, like just get some scissors and just do a nice little trim first.
You don't want to play with scissors now.
Oh, she say,
about the little ones, little scissors.
That's too much room that's too much chance for error with some scissors.
Maybe she say, let me do it. He may let up.
Well, here go my thing. I'm gonna be honest. I tried to do it before. And I shaved and then that growth back had me itching like I had crabs. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That my skin get real irritated, man. I don't know how
Sly,
huh?
Just because you cut the hair don't mean you get rid of the crabs. Get that straight right now.
He started shaving, got too close to the head. So he was like, it's too close.
Yeah. Man, but don't nobody
You can't do that unless you got a little.
I don't know. I got Shala just posted on the page. She said, does he know that hair traps bacteria, moisture, etc.? Also,
and odor.
Also, I need him to wash ahead of time to shave, but regular grooming may help.
But she said he takes shower all the time. Maybe he needs to put a little.
Maybe
he needs to put a little more effort down there because if it smells, then you ain't really doing the job.
He needs to. If he's not going to at least groom it, and as Shiloh said, if he's not going to at least like attempt to groom and what I suggested, which is just do a nice little trim down with some small scissors. Then he needs to treat that hair, the situation like he would if he has a beard on his face. There are products for that. And he needs to make sure that he properly soaps and rinses that area, because just waiting on some soap to just drizzle down, it's not washing.
Maybe he put some cornrows in there or something.
Maybe.
You let that thing breathe.
Well,
ain't it?
see, Cherie,
Breathing.
you keep talking with these scissors, man. I don't, I don't trust the scissors.
Yeah, they got electric trimmers out here.
Yeah, and my thing is
Okay.
like me
Hey.
personally, I like to put the guard on. I put the guard on the clippers, and then just fade it on out. Say give it a nice even Caesar. Nice,
So you got a ball
Sly
fade
used the
or you
same
got
ones
a-
he cut his beard with too.
hey, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if I told you the story. Now, I might have said it on the podcast on why I have a shaved head. I got a shaved head because my cousin had messed up my lineup, and I was about to go on a trip to Miami. And when I went to my homeboy house, our homeboy house, we all know him, has a super fine mama. I went to his house. And she was like, baby, you just need to go ahead and shave your head because that your haircut just looked bad. And so she had some clippers and she went and cut my head and she shaved my head. And then a young lady I went on a trip with, she said, oh man, you look good with a bald head. And my head been bald ever since. But going back to his mom shaving my head, as a grown man, 20 years later.
Shut up. I know what you about to say. Shut up.
What was a single woman doing with hair clippers in her bathroom? I realized she might have shaved my head with her coochie clippers.
Come on, Smith.
Oh.
I think she might have.
And you wasn't mad about it.
I wasn't mad at it.
He still have, look at, he got the biggest chicken shit grin on his face.
I'm finna text your boy right now.
She can probably do her own lineups, which is why she had her own clipper.
No, she had long, pretty hair.
She might have a mustache we ain't know about that. She just kept it trimmed up.
She had long,
check this out,
pretty
man.
hair.
We got in the comments, Alvin say he needs some talcum powder. Alvin, I just want to know how you know. You had that same issue, Alvin. You my classmate. Tell us the truth. We gonna get you help, boy.
But bro,
we gonna get you help, Al.
But that's the thing, though, man. You take that razor down there, man. I don't
Look at Ron. Look at Nora Nance.
what Nora talking
Look at
about?
Nora Nance. Look at Nora Nance.
I can't pull it up. I'm trying to find the
I can't say that. I'm gonna let you read that.
Why I got to be the one to read everything and get.
Because it's about you.
Why he? Hey, Aaron. Why you spell your name backwards, dog? All your friends can't find you on Facebook, dog.
His name
Right.
Nora Nance. He want to be known as Nora.
Nora.
But hey, and Leon say he just need to watch them musky balls, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. My thing is, I think for the lady asking the question, she had two questions. She had two questions, and one of it was, is what he says true? And now that's not true. Some black men, shave down low, keep it clean, whatever. Some of us choose not to. So that's just a personal style or personal how you feel. And then the question is
preference.
Yeah, it's preference. And
they do look different with hair and without hair. So it's whatever she like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there could be a reason why. Because sometimes hair might give you a boost, so to speak, whereas no hair, you can't hide.
Well, you a woman, Cherie. What you like? You like them shaved or with hair?
Young, fresh, and green.
I do not like taco meat in any capacity. I don't like it on your chest, and I don't like it below.
Push a bear. It came in between.
He got to be thicker. He got to be thicker and just can't have none. Huh?
Hey, you don't want no naps down there.
No.
Now wait a minute.
What Chetta is saying is, she don't want your man because he nasty with them with that taco meat down there.
No, that rough hair.
Nora Nance just said
I think it's the opposite. Man.
Yes.
It is the opposite.
He said hair makes his wee look bigger. I think it's the opposite. I think bald might make it look bigger.
Yeah, because
Nope.
you ain't got nothing to contrast against.
Yeah.
No, it depends. It really depends. That is just like a beard on your face. It's hit or miss. It can either work for you or, you know, when you put on a beard, it looks good. For some people, having a beard is amazing. They shave that beard off and you're just like, why? Why would you do that?
You saying James Harden? James Harden cut that beard.
James might
Yeah.
look retarded without a
You
beard.
know, my other counterpart, they got hair. I barely got in it, so I can't get in that conversation.
Oh, you know what? This little bit of hair right here took me 40 years. Took me 40
But,
years to grow.
but all I got, man, hey, I might as well just cut it off.
Hey man,
We not-
hold on.
We're not eating enough coochie.
Nah, that ain't true.
Leon Pitts II said Wesley Pipe shaves. He gonna shave that.
Salute, role model to us all, Wesley Pipes.
Wesley Pipes, dog. Wesley Pipes been around for, boy, y'all crazy, man.
He said, "Mama call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay."
I'm gonna call him Clay, man. I gotta call him Clay. Y'all crazy, man. But man, it's to her, I would just shave the beard and have the butt naked face. Ain't a good look. That's from Com. That's from S. Commas.
Wow. Nora Nance says she should not give him head until he shaved. He'll be bald by tomorrow.
That's right. That's a good strategy too, because then that's hurting her face. And he don't care nothing about her face, all that roughness.
All right, so
irritating her.
if that bother her face,
if he
that's
got
a
pubic
problem
hair,
right there.
if he got pubic hair, she ain't hurting his face. It ain't hurting her face.
If it's down to the face, that's a problem right there. That's another problem she got.
That's a problem. She can't take that. If she can take all of it in, he got a whole problem.
Straight to the face.
Straight to the face.
Hey, it might. She just might be. She just might be a gobbler.
I need to find her because I ain't never found her. Who can take all of it?
The way she's making it sound like is a whole afro down there, and if there's an afro, then it's hitting her face.
Let me keep it real right here. Ain't no woman can take all on the big slide to her face when she feel it on her face. Hey, that's just me. That's my genetics.
That might be that might be about your titties. Hey, now you know I wasn't gonna let that slide. I want to let you go get that in.
Any more than a handful is a waste.
Boy, y'all crazy. So what's the answer though? What's the answer? We gonna let Chetta handle this one, Slide, because we ain't qualified for this.
No, I like the suggestion. Who gave a suggestion of
Oh, talking about Nora Nance. She saying no head until he shaves.
Yeah, she don't rock the mic until he cleans that up. Clean it up.
But see, that's gonna lead to problems. See, you follow that advice, he gonna go out and get some new pussy. I'm just gonna be
Slide. Ain't nobody. Hey, Slide. Ain't no woman rushing to no salty balls.
It's somebody like that. Somebody like that.
He just gonna go get nobody like that.
Hey, I see something on Facebook. Somebody like that's like some seasoning or something.
It's seasoning for these hoes.
So
is she a white girl? So she lacks seasoning. So he tried to help her out.
Y'all remember next Friday where the landlord was like, I know somebody who like it.
Yeah, man.
No, I mean there should be a musk because everybody has some type of, there is a natural odor, but it shouldn't be funk. That's now we're crossing into a line of bacteria and all of that. So, and if his hair is coarse, is what she's saying, it's all coarse, then there's something else going on down there, and he's not properly cleaning, and she needs to work on trying to get some trim.
But her words were.
But somebody just said that hair got to go. Say that's.
Well, what's to say if he got a musk down there and he wash all the time? What's to say he cut the hair off? He still ain't got a musk. It might be something with him.
But then that goes back to the food that you all are consuming as Black men. Y'all might need to drink some pineapple juice yourself.
No more ribs?
Women drink pineapple juice to help them there. Y'all need to eat some fruits and some vegetables.
Hey, I love them diced pineapples. I'm on that Rick Ross. I love them diced pineapple.
That's it.
Let
That's
them
it.
dice up.
But she says in the letter, she says he isn't a dirty guy. He showers all the time, but sometimes his balls has a slight muss.
I mean, that you
I'm not
can't. That can't
taking
be both
scales
true.
of dirty from someone else
Both of them can't be
because I
true.
can't use her comb. So I'm not taking her scale, her measurement of dirty. Some of them got different levels of hygiene. And she's saying he's not dirty. That means that brother is probably disgusting.
What did Shala say? Shala said what? What did Shala say?
She said something about I lost the comment, but she said something about it could be a sign of disease or something too.
Yeah, I'm talking about the hair. I mean, why you want hair down there if you know it smell? Come on, bro.
I'm just saying both of them can't be true. You can't say he not dirty, but then he stank.
And it's his nuts.
Yeah, I'm like that. Both of them can't be true, man. Either he dirty or he ain't.
Your hair stink when it sweat.
You just might have
Hair
sweaty
stink when it
balls.
sweat, dog.
Yeah, but I'm saying you take a bath.
But Sly, you don't know nothing about having no hair and sweating. But
Yeah.
when your hair sweat too much, your body may not stink, but the hair does. It holds an odor. You don't got to tell me but one time
This my
that
flavor.
my balls stink, and I'm gonna make a change.
My flavor saver
for sure.
right here. Put it all up in there.
Come
Put it all-
on, man.
put it all
Come
up.
on. Oh
Put it all,
God.
put it all up in
Hey,
there.
what them kids say? You a munch?
I am. I am. I don't. It sounds like what I do. Oh, but hey, man.
Hey, T Bright say, and I'm agreeing with you, bro. Slight must don't even sound right. Musk is must. Yeah, you either stink or you don't. There ain't no in between. Ain't no gray area.
Yeah, that's what I say. Both can't be true. You can't
Hey,
I'm not a dirty
for
guy.
real.
Maybe she can buy him some ball deodorant. You know, there's some.
Yeah,
But I'm sure that don't taste good either.
Hey, it's called.
You trying to
cookies
kill
and
somebody?
soap.
You trying to poison them?
Well, you know, she got.
It's called shaving and soap. S&S. That'll clear it.
My thing is now, me personally, I don't recommend the shaving, but I do recommend getting some clippers and cutting it down. You know, trimming it up, give him a little fade. I like my girl to take the clippers and
Ain't
trim
no
it
worse
down.
than getting some hair in your teeth though.
I don't know, man.
I don't like no hair in my teeth, dog.
I like hair on the cooch though. I like hair.
In my teeth.
Carl, wait a minute, dog. What are we doing here? Where are we going with this?
I'm just saying, like, all right, man, clean that up, dog.
Yeah.
I like hair on the cooch. I like it. I mean,
You want the landing strip or you want the whole field?
But you notice though how the coochie hair, the pubic area has changed over the years. In the 70s, you had the big bush. The 80s, you just had the little nappy hair. And then the 90s, you started to get the landing strip and the patch, the soul patch and the landing strip. And now it's all the way bald.
You got a soul patch?
Yeah, they had a little soul patch right on top of the little coochie part, coochie lips. Then that evolved into the landing strip. You know, I know one girl who had her hair shaved into an arrow, so I would know where to go.
Because you wouldn't know regardless.
I was young. I didn't know where to go. I was young.
Right, Leon. This man talking about a soul patch.
Oh, look at nasty ass Nora Nance. Nasty talking about that's why you need to eat ass. Less chance of hair. Nasty. Nora Nance.
Nasty Nora. Come on, Nora.
Hey, Aaron.
That's what up.
Talking about you still missed the hole.
He said less chance because you know still some hair there too.
Hey, Shauna, S-Com will say soul patch is a beard, fool.
Well, no, the soul patches, when they just got the little patch of hair right above the clitoris, that's a soul patch. That is a soul patch. So obviously Shauna doesn't have a soul patch.
Norman has a soul patch.
Not no more. It's changed. It used to be in the 90s.
I would just say this, and we need to move on.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you with somebody, y'all need to come to some kind of consensus on what you like and make that happen. If she don't like the hair, and he gonna keep the hair, y'all probably don't need to be together. If you ain't willing to change, I mean, it's over.
Because you
That's
do.
important.
You do. Oh, wait a minute. Shauna said Sly loud and wrong per usual. I said it's obvious Shauna doesn't have a soul patch. And she said I'm wrong. So I guess Shauna, we have just found out. Breaking news. Shauna has a soul patch.
All right, well, let's transition.
What's the next?
I tried to stop it. I
transition.
tried to stop it beforehand.
Yeah, let's transition. Let's transition
Breaking
because we just talked about poor transitions, and this is seeming to
terrible transition.
You got work to do.
Chance was trying to close. Chance was giving us like a very adult, calm response. They need to work it out. They need to talk. And if they can't come to an agreement, then they need to part ways. And then you need to go. Go ahead, Chance.
Hey, you're right, Leon. I need to get him, man.
I just know next time Shauna around, she's gonna slap shit out of Sly.
He is an ID10T. He is an idiot. He is.
Hey, you know, you gotta put that precursor in. His comments do not reflect the comments of the Rip 28 podcast.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That is Sly, the sports guy.
But young lady, though, you heard our president, man. You heard our president. Y'all need to have that discussion. And just tell old boy, tell him. I don't know if y'all got a pair of clippers. You got a pair of clippers, just cut them down one time. I wouldn't recommend using that razor. And I'm just saying, for me personally, the one time I used the razor, it felt uncomfortable than a motherfucker when it was growing back. I don't know how it is with women, Cherie, when you go and get your stuff shaved, it feel uncomfortable when it's coming back.
Wax it then, Sly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. Thank you, Chance. Get waxed.
I don't know.
It hurt now.
That wax looked like it hurt.
Yeah, it probably do.
You're fine.
That wax.
Pain is temporary.
That's right. Women go through a lot that y'all don't really understand, but waxing, it's nice and clean and it gets it done. You get the right one.
Al made a good point. Maybe it's her pH.
No, that was Nora Nance made that. I think Al responded.
It might be her pH balance that's making him stink.
Well, either way, both of them need to consider their diets and eat some fruits and some vegetables and lay off that meat.
So pineapples making stuff smell better? I did not know that.
Who knows?
No, it's not smell, it's taste.
But
taste better?
Nora Nance, come on, get on the show next week, man. We love to hear your stuff.
Well, we learn a lot of stuff, man. You learn a lot of stuff. Lakimi Blair is laughing. Lakimi is a new subscriber to the podcast. We appreciate you joining in. Hey, for all you people listening, man, we're getting all these listens on Spotify and iTunes. We're getting like 2,000 a year. We're getting all these listens on Spotify and iTunes, but our YouTube numbers are down. What we need you people to do, man, we appreciate you listening live. We appreciate everybody listening live. But y'all need to come on after the show on Tuesday on the next day and go and listen to it on YouTube. Go and watch us on YouTube again. We appreciate you listening live. We appreciate you watching live. But on your way to work, man, turn us on when you're going when you're watching on YouTube. We need to get the YouTube numbers up.
Yeah, when Slide's on the screen, you can be doing something else or whatever. And then when he got off, you can check back in and look on. Just keep it on, You ain't gotta watch him the whole time.
Hey, Misha, I'm glad you just tuning back in, sweetie.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, Misha, that you just tuning back in. This was not the conversation that you would want to be a part of.
Well, technically, Amisha a nurse. Amisha should be a part of it.
No.
She should be the one who
Slide, you
to
gonna
give
make
us
it
the answer.
You gonna make it uncomfortable, Sly.
Lamisha done known me for a long time, so she know I'm gonna say what's on my mind.
Lamisha.
She know I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, man. Man,
Oh,
check this.
wow.
Check this, man. We got we coming up close on our time. But one thing we skipped out on last week, man, we skipped out on the 90s block. You know, we always take a trip down the 90s block every week, man. We go and get a couple of things from the 90s that we like to compare and see how you feel about those things in the 90s. Now, this week on the 90s block, this week, I'm not sure if we did it, but we're going to go TV dads. TV dads on the 90s block. You got to choose one. And we're going to go with Al Bundy.
My man.
Dan Connor. Who else was the other one?
Dan Connor.
Dan Connor.
Who is that?
From Roseanne.
Okay.
From Roseanne. Al Bundy.
Man, we had Martin Luther King, then we got all these white ass dads.
Yeah, I know it's equal rights, man. It's equal rights, bro. I ain't choose it. It just happened. Al Bundy, Dan Connor, or Homer Simpson. Who is your favorite TV dad?
Oh,
Hey, man, it wasn't me, man. It's just what it was, man. We can change it, out of Martin Luther King Day. We can go. You want to switch up the TV dad?
no.
Yeah, because ain't none of them gonna ever be my dad.
We'll go
Maybe
there.
Al
Then we
Bundy.
can add some more.
Right.
I mean, Al Bundy and Homer was the stars of the show. Dan was the show called Roseanne, so he was secondary. So
Right, Misha. We need better choices.
He
Yeah.
automatically eliminated.
All right. The people have spoken. The people are upset with the choices. These are just TV dads that came up. Okay. We're going to redo this one. Rewind.
You gonna say Bill Cosby?
TV dad. Well, Bill Cosby in the 80s. We're going to say TV dads in the 90s. TV dads in the 90s. Phil Banks. Moesha's dad. I don't know Moesha's dad.
Moesha's
His name was Frank.
Frank.
Dude.
I couldn't think of
Frank
names.
Mitchell.
Frank
That
Mitchell.
dude.
Frank Mitchell or Carl Winslow. Which one?
No.
Phil Banks,
Man.
Frank Mitchell, or Carl Winslow? Which one?
I'm gonna go Frank Mitchell because the other two lived alternative lifestyles. So I'm just gonna go with Frank by default.
Well, just like Leon said, Frank had side kids.
Yeah. Hey, plenty
Ray
dads
J.
got plenty dads got side kids. I can deal with that. At least I know he like women.
Wait a minute, Phil Banks wasn't no punk.
Not on the show.
Well, I'm talking about the show. I don't know what
I'm
they
going
do.
with Frank Mitchell.
You going with Frank?
I'm going with Frank, man.
I'm going with Uncle Phil, man.
I think I gotta go with Uncle Phil too.
Yeah, I'm with Uncle Phil.
But everybody like fuck the police, huh? Don't nobody want to mess with
Carl Winslow?
Carl Winslow. Don't nobody want to mess with Carl Winslow.
I mean, I got something else for y'all with that going on.
Shout out to Shelly.
Do y'all realize when it's a family show, the husband is always some little soft, lame dude that take a back seat all the time? You know what I'm saying?
James Evans wasn't no soft dude.
Well, that's
James Evans can't. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. He couldn't get out the hood because the wife wouldn't let him.
Well, Florida Evans was the worst mother on the history of TV.
She wouldn't let him get out the hood. He was always trying to get out of it.
Florida,
James.
Florida Evans was the worst mother in the history of all television.
She was the worst mother.
She was the worst mother in the history of all television. Period.
Okay.
Period. Every time, Chan just said it, every time they had an idea to get out the hood, she shitted on it. She stopped it. Black Jesus. She wouldn't even put Black Jesus up in the house. When James wanted to work for the hustler preacher, She wouldn't let James work for the hustler preacher. When they won the money, when James found the money from the bank robbery, from the store robbery, she made James give the money back. You know, she was such a great Christian. Who she ended up marrying or running off to be with when James died? The dude who was the atheist. Come on, man. Fuck Florida Evans, man. I feel
No.
Man,
Oh my
fuck Florida
goodness.
Evans, man. Florida Evans is fucking garbage, man. Florida Evans is the worst TV mom of all time. I heard it. You said it. I said it. You heard it. Fuck Florida Evans.
He had some flashbacks.
Yeah, buddy,
Nigga,
that
so
joke
mad.
angry. Hey,
Hey.
Nornez, you talking about Frank Mitchell was always angry. This brother is always angry. Angry man, pissed
Oh,
off.
man. And that's all she did was complain. James told her, right? The kitchen in the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen in the bedroom. James wasn't lying. James was a great father. Florida,
That brother
you,
is
Mr.
mad.
Smart, you goddamn right. I'm passionate about this. I am passionate. I'll write a paper on this if I was still in college. I'll write a paper on how bad Florida Evans was.
You're gonna write.
Boy,
You're gonna write it.
he
You're
gonna
gonna
write
put thesis on it.
yeah, he gonna put a thesis statement. That's
Right,
gonna be a thesis, boy, how bad Florida Evans was.
And get an
man.
F on that junk.
Tell him why
Worse,
you mad. Ttell him why you mad, bro.
no, and then
Worse
worse than the crackhead on the Tyler Perry show. Yes, worse than all of them. Worse than all of them.
Boy,
Florida
y'all
Evans.
wild, man.
Hey, man. Well, who did we decide? We done
Uncle
lost track.
Phil.
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil was our TV.
Hey,
guy.
because Uncle Phil was a daddy to William Smith, who wasn't his kid. Hey, just think about that. You got some rich ass kids, spoiled as hell. Then you got the dude from the hood come in there. You got to take care of him the same way. You know what I mean? And I think he showed him love and they gave him space too, because they was teenagers or whatever, right? You know, so he had to. That was tough to navigate. Like just think about it, Sly. You got a cousin or a niece and nephew that want to come live with you now, with your kid, and you gonna raise him the way you want to raise him. And you got somebody who all outside the box from what your kids came up through. You know what I mean? And you got to deal with that and make sure he's straight.
Yeah,
you know, that's tough. That's tough.
That's why I said Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil got my vote, man.
Hey, you know, like my parents have done that a couple times. You know, I had a lot of cousins come live with me for a year or two, and I really respect my parents for that. You know, because I never swayed off to the wrong way. I stayed with my sports and made sure I went to school most of the time.
So that means you gonna let some of your nieces and nephews move in with you?
I will take that back. You know, I mean, it's according to the situation, you know. It's according to the situation.
Go ahead, get a political answer. Get a political answer.
That would not be my preference.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it was necessary, you know, we do what we got to do.
I got you. Well, check this, man. We're getting close to the end. Man, pardon shots, man. El Presidente, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
I kind of do, you know. Hey, it's basketball season. I'm a kid. My middle kid and my youngest boy, they playing ball, you know, getting it in. You know, I'm coaching, back into coaching again. I'm full throttle with that thing. We are first place in the league, so you know, I still got it. But
good stuff, boy.
Other than that, you know, happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody, man. Just make sure that we all loving on each other and doing our thing, you know.
L Beasley, you got anything to say before you get out of here, L Beasley?
Man, the only thing I want to say to everybody is see the big picture, man. It's not where you start, but where you finish that counts. So you may be down now, you may not be where you want to be. Things may be rough, but see the big picture. Don't skip steps in the process, and everything it'll work out for you in the end, man. So see the big picture.
All right, our favorite AKA, do you have anything to say before you get out of here?
Yes. Just be present. Enjoy, try not to worry about tomorrow, because the Bible says tomorrow has enough worry for itself. So you don't need to concern yourself. So just be present. And like Chan said, let's love on each other. Tell someone, check on somebody, tell somebody you love them, and check in with yourself and tell yourself that you love yourself too, because that's important first. So just be good to yourself, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself.
All right, man. This has been another episode of the RIP 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you may not like, but we're going to keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. Man, I want y'all to check this out. Antonio Brown, Chris Brown, Orlando Brown, Bobby Brown, James Brown, the whole Brown bloodline is wild as hell. Go out and be a Brown. We'll holler at you next week. Tim Brown. Holla.
Hey, what's over there?
Ladies and gentlemen,